We're never going to get this thing started.
Oh
We are,
my
we are.
God.
Go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1,
I
go.
am Ola, and welcome. That sounded weird. And welcome back to Coffee and Chaos. I'm Alina, your host. Tom Tom is in the hot seat today.
He's
Hello,
assumed
everybody.
his regular
Hey.
position.
That's right.
Good.
He reclaimed his seat back.
Yeah.
I was wondering what it was going to be like today. I was like, is Gina, Trina, or Tom going to sit in the seat?
No, absolutely not.
Wait, I got to fix your hair. You got
Well, you got to introduce him first so I can put the cameras
go
on.
back a little bit more. So we had, there you go. Okay. So we brought back Trina and Gina. Both of them they're regulars on here now with Tom and I. So, and then we got Solomon, of course.
Hi.
Yay.
I'm here.
Everybody have a good weekend?
Yeah.
I worked.
Wait, Trina just instantly starts laughing.
I had a great weekend.
You went to church today,
I did.
and yet you can't stop laughing.
I'm overjoyed with love.
Go. Heck yeah.
Well, before we start, I'd love for you guys to talk about the last few Sundays and how that went.
Music by the
yeah.
Sea.
Yeah, Music by the
Music
Sea.
by the Sea.
So I missed last week's. But other than that, we've been going every Sunday. And I'm going to, like, being a Pedro girl, because we all know that, I was like, why wasn't I going sooner? Like, it was fun. It was something
cool.
different. Like,
Especially today.
yeah.
Today was a really good
Were you
turnout.
working?
Probably, you know what? A lot of things I miss is because of kids' sports.
Mm.
Loran had travel ball, Seth had travel ball, college ball. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now, but being there, I was just like, today, especially like, well, you were sitting there with us,
Mhm.
Tom, like, all my friends came and then other friends came. I felt like I was bouncing all over the place.
Yeah.
I didn't even, and then we were there celebrating my cousin Monique's birthday with my two brothers that were there. We were all over the place.
Yeah.
And I was eating and other things. It was a good day. But you want to talk about
Tom
our
has a
special-
shout out.
Yes, our special favorite place,
That's right.
the Hockey Pucks.
Not your mama, not your granny.
No, it
but
is.
your-
It
Not
is.
your granny cookies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Her cookies
Delicious.
are so yummy.
That's right.
And on one of the bags I saw it said grown ass adult cookies. So
Uh-oh.
Nice.
Yeah.
just
Some extra special cookies.
Yeah, not infused though, right?
In moderation.
they're good. I only had 1.5 since since
X-rated
her-
cookies.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's awesome. So I don't think she delivers. I think it's all pickup. I could be wrong. But check out her Instagram. Definitely go follow her and get some cookies.
On Instagram
Yeah.
at
But she-
Not Yo Granny's Cookies.
She was making
one.
the fat cookies, but she says now she makes those two. Remember the hockey pucks you said?
Mhm.
But now she's making like 4 little hockey pucks,
Mm.
Mm.
which I was like, oh, I'm only going to have one of those.
No, you end up eating 4.
Well, because it's equivalent to one.
Yeah.
It
So-
makes you feel better that you're eating 4 little ones instead of one big one, right?
It's
And
like-
we just rebuke all those calories.
Well, you just think that, hey, if I just eat, like, I can eat one of this one or 2.
Oh,
and then I
different
can
or
try
maybe
2.
I could change
And you can
the
try all
flavor
the
up.
different flavors that
Okay.
way. But
and then eat
it don't
5.
work.
Okay, so what's your favorite?
Oh.
Or which one did you have?
I had the macadamia nut, which was really good today.
Ooh.
I don't-
Yeah, that one's
I like
sinful.
that one. But I like the peanut butter one too.
Ooh, peanut butter is my
Yeah.
favorite.
Yeah,
You got to get
Both of them
the
are good.
Reese's Pieces one.
yeah,
Mm.
that's the one. Yeah,
Yes.
talking about.
Oh, is that what you have
Yeah,
over
the
there?
Reese's Pieces.
Yes. I have them. I think there's a s'mores one over there too.
Yes, there
We
is.
brought all kinds for you guys. Yeah.
Ugh.
To try and to eat. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like her cookies though are like, because we all know I'm a sugarholic. I would drink a regular Dr. Pepper, and then they came out with the baby cans, and I'm like,
Okay.
oh, I'm just gonna drink a baby can, right? Well, 4 baby cans later.
Later, I tried that too. It didn't work.
Wait, you drink the Dr. Pepper with the cookie?
Oh, I
No,
drink the
she's
Dr.
an
Pepper with the
example.
pack of donuts.
I mean, I'm not
cookie.
judging you.
But
She's
Well-
just trying to make sure she understands exactly.
Yeah,
what's
I was like,
happening.
wait, because you were talking about the cookie, but now you're talking about the soda.
well, I'm saying that
In comparison.
in
to-
comparison
okay.
to the big
Yeah.
cookie,
Okay.
you'll eat a smaller cookie.
But eat more
As
of
if you
them.
have a big Coke, you drink a little Coke.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's not realistic because 4 little Cokes later, I might as well just have the one big one.
Exactly. I think it's
Yeah.
all like a mind trick.
And according to my kids, I just survive off Dr. Peppers and a pack of donuts.
Oh, God.
Well, same thing here. Coke Zero.
well, you don't look like it.
Thank God
She
for
was
my
lucky
daddy's.
for her metabolism.
Yes, thank God for my daddy's genetics.
I know. Sorry, all those out there. We
Yeah.
just eat.
I don't know. These thighs don't
I
lie.
want the
These-
sugar. I want the freaking bread. Sorry.
She said these thighs don't lie.
Fried chicken and mayonnaise.
Ooh.
Oh, sorry.
Whoa. Mayonnaise. Whoa.
Wait,
Yeah.
is that what you and your
Whoa.
mom make?
I love fried chicken with mayonnaise. Well, our whole that's
Your culture.
Yes.
I don't want to say it's a cultural thing. I don't know if all
I-
Samoans like mayonnaise, but
Oh, yes.
I eat my fried chicken with mayonnaise.
Oh, so
Yes.
you don't put the mayonnaise in the fried chicken?
Sorry,
My
Tom.
compadres freaking eat mayonnaise with everything. Right?
Was he
in
Burritos,
prison?
tacos. Oh,
Did he go
I
to
mean-
prison?
And it has to be best foods.
Because I've noticed.
Right?
Right.
Oh, it can't
Saying,
be. It can't be Miracle Whip.
No.
Oh.
Miracle Whip is not mayonnaise.
That is gross.
It
My
is
daughter-in-law
Miracle Whip.
made
No.
chicken pesto sandwiches, and on the outside, she toasted the bread with mayonnaise.
I'm sorry.
And really?
I just took us
Mhm.
off
Wait,
way off.
How do you
we
toast
went
the
off
bread?
topic. Okay,
I know.
let's really back.
I
in.
didn't see you
Okay.
shift.
Okay,
I
we're
didn't
just
see
being
you
fat
shift.
now. We're just being fat. Sorry.
Wait, I do have a question
Thick,
though.
thick.
I did ask you. You said no. Your friend that likes mayonnaise on everything. He never
No.
went to
No, his
prison.
whole his brothers and everything.
You
his
said
whole
he
family.
never went to
Wait,
No.
what?
Wait, because
I never went to prison.
What does prison have to do
What
with
does that have to do
mayonnaise?
with
You're
it?
gonna make me look
They
it
all
up.
like
Oh, 'cause
mayonnaise, making spreads in there.
It's a spread.
What are you trying to say? You think all my friends have been to prison?
They're
That's a whole
mayonnaise
nother
lovers.
episode.
no, what I'm saying is, I love mayonnaise. People love mayonnaise.
Oh, thank God.
He said his person likes mayonnaise on everything, and usually, if you put mustard and mayonnaise on everything, it's because you've been to prison because that's what they eat. They have to like
no.
spruce up
Flavor
their
it up.
food.
That's
Yes.
the only way to
No.
flavor shit up.
Yes.
No, my
Well, that's what a spread is.
So that's
how
why
they do it.
I asked him because
Or
he's
at
like,
least
"Oh, my
that's what I
compadre."
my
does
daughter's
mustard."
nana used to put mustard on her cinnamon rolls. She's never been to prison.
Wait, she puts mustard on her cinnamon rolls.
What the?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my.
Are you
God.
sure she's never been to prison?
Rest in peace.
What is she
Oh.
saying? That's
Wow.
crazy.
Oh,
That's crazy.
that is okay.
All right, we got to get back
Yes,
on
okay.
because we'll never get back. to
We're
that.
like 8 minutes in already. But go
Sorry.
on.
Okay, so Tom, I'm going to start it off. I'm going to let you take off with it. But
Yeah.
today we brought you two specifically because it's hurt people. And we all have a different, I think, way of knowing what that sentence means. For me, particularly, I feel like when somebody hasn't done the healing that they needed to get in life, and they're angry inside and are always upset, they lash out to other people to place their hurt on them. And
Yeah.
is that kind
Sure.
of what?
Totally. Well, I mean, people that they have this anger and resentment and bitterness and coldness inside, But the reason I brought it up is just through social media, the things that we see all the time, right?
Mhm.
So no matter what you're doing, no matter what vibe you got, no matter how you're reaching out, no matter how positive you are, you get a lot of people that like that and that appreciate that, right?
Right.
But you get these people hating for out of nowhere, right? And you're like, what's going on with these? Like, I don't even want to really hate back at you because I don't want to be that person. That's not who I want to be.
Mhm.
I'm not trying to be a person that tear anybody down or to belittle or to,
Or just give it any
yeah.
energy.
I'd rather be somebody that's positive and uplifting and motivating, inspiring somebody else to be better, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So it's just crazy when I look and I'm like, man, what's going on with these people? But that you attract what you put out, right?
Yes.
So you reap what you sow, right? Whatever you're throwing out, whatever kind of energy you continue to push out, whatever direction you are, then that's what's gonna feed into and gravitate and be around you,
Right.
right?
What's going to manifest?
What's going to manifest, right? So I'm just like, you people, like I feel in some ways when they write these nasty comments, I'm like, natural reaction. I want
Right.
to say, you know what? Pop, 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 and
Are you
blast on
saying
them, right?
comments that are written to you or just
Yes.
comments that you'd read on
In
social
general,
media,
too,
period?
to just other people that I watch,
Yeah.
Okay.
but comments first, like obviously to me,
Right.
towards my girlfriend, stuff
Okay.
like that. But I read the other ones, and it's
Yeah.
not just me that they're tearing down.
Yeah.
It's just they want to go on. There's certain people that's all they do.
Right.
They create fake accounts, right? And they just go and smash it on
Right.
everybody that they can, right?
Well,
see,
and I'm
there's-
thinking, what's going on with you, man?
Mhm.
How
That's
are you
their
so
hurt.
broken?
Yeah.
But what you don't understand too, like, by it, an uplifting word, right, to
Mhm.
somebody else might change everything in their day.
Yeah.
You know, I had a friend of mine,
Absolutely.
right? So he was telling me that one day he's driving on the hook. Man, he said, I'm driving on the hook, and they're not even paying attention to me driving on the hook. And he waves me under this load, and a lid comes out flying over my head. And he's like, I'm pissed. So he pulls around the thing and he gets out of the car. You know, this guy's big old Samoan guy, 400 and some odd pounds, right? And he goes up to the kids like, hey man, before he bashes on him, you all right? And the kid's like, no, I'm not.
Oh.
And so he says, what's gonna be all right, man? My name's Junior. You need anything, man? You tell me. Everything's
Oh,
gonna be
Junior,
good.
Junior.
Junior, my
I
buddy
know
Junior, right?
Junior.
So Junior tells him, right? And the kid just like, oh, okay, man. Hey, man, love you, bro. Gave him a hug, went back in his car, did his thing. So he starts looking for him on social media, right? Like, he don't know what he did. I was under the hook contemplating suicide that night. But because somebody cared, somebody reached out to me, somebody noticed, it changed everything. So we don't even, like, you might give some nasty ass comment,
Right.
Mhm.
and you think because everybody has a smile on their face, that's because a lot of the strong people are going through shit. They just know how to cover it up and hide shit, right?
Yeah.
So they just push through life and they get smashed on, right? And so you don't know, what if that person was about on that line and you're just tearing down and tearing down and tearing down, right?
Mhm.
Like, you don't even know the ramification, the what you're creating, you know? And so as I was looking through it, I'm just like, man, how sad is that, right? How
Yeah.
sad are these people? What are these people going through that
Yeah.
is so horrible that they went through, because everything is in perspective. Like, that's one of the things when I pray, like, I really like, hey, Lord, man, I don't know what's going on, but I got it pretty good, right?
Yeah.
And help me to see things in a better light, in a
Mhm.
Right.
better way. Because if my perspective's good, everything else will land into place,
Yeah.
Right.
right? Everything else is good. Like, I was sharing with Marlene on the way over here, like, one of my good friends owns this really big, successful company. And he was like, Tom, you're always all pumped up. You work all the time. You do all this stuff. He's just like, I said, Neil, like, I'm blessed. Like, I'm healthy. My kids are healthy. I got a good job. Like I'm still solid. I go through struggles, but
Mhm.
part of that makes me who I am. And I would not change that
Yeah.
because I need that to, because
Absolutely.
that creates confidence in me,
Yeah.
Yes.
right? To know that, hey, I went through some shit, but when shit comes, I know how to get through it again, right?
Yeah. Well,
But
you know
he
how to
said,
rise above all the
Right.
things that you've encountered, so now you're able to, like, look at things in a different light.
so I tell him, so I said, so he goes, you know, because you have that perspective, I go, everything else is gravy after that, right?
Yep.
Right.
Like, I'm solid. Like, if I make more money, if I do this, I have more
Mhm.
blessings. It's like it just all. He's like, man, you can't lose with a mindset like that, right?
Absolutely.
You always are above. You're always, So I just like, yeah, I just noticed it, and I just thought, man, that's pretty messed up, and it's pretty sad how society and everything just wants to, pull out the flaws in everybody, tear them down all the time. Like,
Yeah.
oh well, oh this guy can, but that's the only move he's got, or oh look at, like whatever flaw, oh he's got a receding hairline, or he's got whatever they want to talk smack on. They're
Yeah.
always going to try to find something, and
They
it's
don't like
like,
to see other people happy.
oh, it messes them up
Oh, yeah.
I
inside to
tell
see
people,
that.
I
That's
tell
got to be a lie. We got people that are married couples, right? Me and my girlfriend out, just living our life, just dancing, just trying to enjoy our life, and be like, oh, that's fake. It's fake because you don't have that. That's not
Yeah.
a reality in your life, and you think it's all phony because you never had that. That just goes to show how miserable your relationship is with who you are.
Yeah.
Because if you recognize it and be like, oh, they got exactly what I got.
Yeah.
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 I know exactly
Well,
what they're going
exactly.
through,
Not
but you
just
don't.
that. Not just that. I think sometimes, well, like in regards to seeing you and your girlfriend, or like things that are like of light, like happiness, right?
Right.
People are gonna, a married couple may be in a situation like you said, how the kid was going through something. That couple might be going through something, right? So the wife or the husband, whatever, they're gonna look and compare their relationship to what they see, not knowing
Mhm.
whatever else, whatever other things you have gone through before in your life to
Sure.
get you to where you are now with the new person that you're with.
Sure.
So I feel like sometimes what causes people to be like that or have hate not only is being bitter about things, not being able to forgive and move forward. So they're going to look at a good situation or happy things. And the way that we utilize social media, like that's probably why you don't have it,
No.
is not having to deal with all of that. So
Yeah.
that's when we have to be like, okay, time for me to get off, time for me to take a break. Because sometimes I feel like I get stuck, right? Not on the negative things, because the minute I see something that's negative or puts me in a funk, I'm like, all right, it's time for me to move on. Next, put it down, whatever, pay attention to whatever is, be present in the moment. And I think that's why people get like, they're not becoming miserable, they are miserable. So going on there and seeing joy or happiness or something that they're going to have a comment on, or I don't even think I'd be offended by someone saying something negative, because I'm putting something out there, right? So I'm opening it up. My page is public. So I'm opening it up to whoever wants to be negative. You want to take it as being positive? Take it as being positive. You want to take it as being fake? Then it's fake. But it's
Right.
not to me. It's
I
only
always-
going to be
Well,
real
yeah,
to the
again,
people who
because
know me
it's-
well
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah, your experience.
Yeah.
Right.
Again, so people get offended by our perspective of our experience.
Mhm.
Now, I do not have social media for that reason. My circle is small. And for me, it's like the less chatter on the negative,
Mhm.
the more I'm going to hear God's voice
Yeah.
instead of all this.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
Mhm.
that's why my circle stays small. And when people talk about stuff, I'm like, man, yeah, no, I don't know what you're talking about, because I don't see it. So it's
Yeah.
out of sight, out of mind. And so for me, that's the benefit of not.
Yeah.
And then, I'm like I said, maybe I'm sure there's good things that come
Mhm.
out of social media,
Yeah.
but for me, I'm just too blunt, right? For most people. So I'm gonna be like, stop lying. You don't even like your kids. We know, because I know you and you don't like your kids. Stop lying. Like I can't be anything but that.
Yeah.
So some people can't take that. And I can't deal in I don't deal in feelings. I deal in facts. We were talking about this on the way
Well,
over
yeah,
here.
yeah.
So people don't know how to remove their feelings from the facts, right? And people don't know how to be uncomfortable in an uncomfortable situation
Yeah.
in order to get past it and heal from it, right? So people avoid it. And what happens? Anger,
But
bitterness.
I always say that people's, like for me particularly, my joy brings out people's demons. Like,
Oh, yeah.
it's being, and it's not
Sure.
like any of us have a perfect life.
Right.
The four
No.
of us know each other pretty well at this point, right? Like,
Yeah.
we all know the trials and tribulations that we have gone through and all the struggles and everything. So none of us have a perfect life. I just tell people I don't need to carry it on my sleeve every day.
No.
If I carried it on my sleeve every day, I wouldn't get
Yeah.
out of bed. You
Yeah.
know?
No.
Because there's so
Absolutely.
many people that are like, oh, Alina has a perfect life. And I'm like,
Yeah.
No.
girl, come
Yeah.
walk my shoes
You
if
don't
you
even
think that.
know. Yeah.
But I refuse to let the devil win. That's what I
Right.
say personally. Like, no,
Right.
you're not taking my joy. And if somebody else can't handle my joy, those are your issues, not mine.
Right.
Then
Right.
you need to go seek the help.
Yeah.
But I will never not let my light shine, because my light comes from one place and one place only, and he put that
Absolutely.
light there.
Mhm.
So if it outshines you, by all means, like, I don't do it to be disrespectful. I do it because I am pleasing him and I am serving him. It's a light that he gave me. But I think at sometimes when I do see a hurt person, I do understand, because I have a few friends that are like that.
Yeah.
And I tell them, like, girl, it's okay these days to get help. It's okay these days to get
100%.
therapy. Like, I know therapy was looked
There's
at as
no
a bad thing back
yes,
then.
especially for us, because like
Yes, we didn't do it
Yeah.
at all. And my grandpa, when I ever got in a place where I didn't realize what was anxiety or depression, because we didn't use those words,
No.
right? Mija, go outside and get some fresh air on your face. Go outside and play. Go on. And I didn't realize like he was right. Like, that's the
Mhm.
best medicine there is. That's why when people say, do you go to the gym, work out? Absolutely not. Nothing against gyms.
No,
I
nothing
go-
against them, but I can't do
Yeah.
it.
But I go on my hikes, and I go on my hikes because I am outside. I am talking to God. The wind is hitting my face. And, I walk up a lot of hills on purpose to get my sweat in, to get my workout in, and to really appreciate it, because we all need help. We all need
Yes.
therapy, whether it's through our friends, even if when it's through our kids.
I mean, here, just doing this podcast,
Totally.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We're talking about real stuff.
Mhm.
And maybe somebody doesn't understand what we're talking about.
Or
Or
agree.
maybe or they don't agree, and that's okay. We're
Yeah.
not asking anybody to agree with anything,
Mhm.
but we understand certain things a certain way.
But it also opens up just their perspective to like, oh wow, man, I never looked at it like that. A lot of
Right.
times,
Yeah.
you know,
100%, because you can't just
Nobody has a perfect life.
no. No, and I get like see for me because I don't have social media, when I actually meet people, I feed off their energy.
Mhm.
Right? So if I feel a negative energy, I'm
Mhm.
like, "Oh,
Yeah, right
you
away.
know," and I really won't turn back around to it either.
Mhm.
So if it's negative for me, I know something's up
Mm.
with
Yeah.
that person. Doesn't mean that they're a bad person. It just
This means
means
it's not for
that
Your
me.
picker,
right?
your picker's working.
Yes.
My
My
picker's
pickers.
still broken.
Ah.
But see,
But
some people don't have the strength or the will
discernment.
or the discernment to say, "Oh, that's not good energy. Let me step
Yeah.
away." It's like let's dive deeper
Let me
into
check
all
it
that.
all out.
Yeah,
Yes.
let me
Hey,
be.
hey, hey!
Let me,
Don't
Why?
judge us. Don't judge us.
Why?
what? What?
Because I'm that
Never.
person. Oh, you're a bad boy? Huh? How long did you go to jail for? Huh? What
No.
did you do? How bad was it?
Do you like mayonnaise?
And mustard.
The one and only time I got married that we don't talk about? Yeah, he was fresh out of prison.
So you
Not
still like
jail,
mayonnaise then?
prison.
There's some good people in prison that don't belong there.
There's a
For sure.
lot
Saying.
of people that are in prison that
Just
don't
saying.
belong
It's a
there.
whole nother.
That's a
podcast.
topic that would be, yeah.
Well, right, because now they have social media outlet.
They have phones.
Mm-hmm.
How do, okay, this is kind of off topic, but not because they're getting killed and they're in prison.
Why are you laughing?
Because here we go with the expression. Do you see it?
How did those mofos come home already with the lady already enwrapped and like, believe me, no hate,
Yeah.
but I'm like, damn, you're already all in love in a thing, and I'm over here working,
Right?
cleaning, calling
you're
my
like,
dad last night. Dad, there's a
"Hey,
mouse dead in the
what just
backyard.
happened?"
They're already coming home and all happy and put together.
Well, I
Right?
feel like there are some people. There's
some
like a
people
whole nother
searching them
world.
out.
There's a whole
Yes!
nother world
Yeah.
that's who they
What?
are attracted to, or that's
Sure.
like
No, but they have like Seth, the one that told me about it. There's they have like you said, they have phone and apps.
yeah.
They're on social media meeting people.
Mhm.
Oh wow.
Like, and these women, good, right, wrong, or indifference, nobody's judgment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are like I wonder though, is there a moment where they say, "Well, how much time do you have?" Because I ain't waiting past 5 years.
I don't know. Some people are attracted to that,
and
Yes.
they're happy.
I guess.
and that's all that matters.
That's what I'm saying.
And
right,
you know
right,
what?
right.
If you're
Listen,
happy,
if they're happy,
everybody's happy is
That's
different.
just not-
so that's what I'm saying. My picker's still broken because I'm out here and I'm not in jail.
And you're like,
He said your picker
We're
was.
going off topic
He said,
here.
"Don't be mad if
Everybody,
your picker
let's
is
reel that shit
broken."
back in.
okay.
Look at Tom. Tom's like,
He started
"Here we go."
shifting. He started.
He started shifting.
Yeah, I get it.
Okay.
We've come to
Okay.
the conclusion that when I irk you, you start moving.
Hey,
Yes,
you got
E-
me, man.
Either that or
Yes.
he's trying to.
Yes.
He's
Yes,
dancing
that's why I
from
said,
earlier.
there we go.
I don't care.
I could tell by his body language.
He got to deal with me. I don't care. He ain't got a choice.
But back to what we were saying, who I think though that it really affects the most is the younger generation of kids, right? Because when they're getting bullied, and it's not in person.
And I don't understand that.
And I don't either, because the way we grew up, everything was done in person, right?
Mhm.
So if you had a bully or you had an issue, well, you just knocked at their door and you handled, right? Done.
Wait to school the next day and popped him in the
Right?
face.
You didn't keep
Star
bugging. It
69.
was done. It
Star
was done.
69.
Yes. If you got beat up, you just got beat up.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
I don't know. I never got into
Now-
a fight.
I don't understand why there's so much power in a word on a phone or a tablet.
Well, because everybody wants to
Like-
be, they want the likes, they want the social
But the
attention, they
bullying,
want the
though, why it affects people so much when you can't even see it. It's not a thing. It's just
Right,
their
right.
words.
Because
And
it's
so-
done publicly. That's why.
That
What?
It's done
done
publicly.
publicly.
It's done in front of everybody else.
yeah, and I won't say that
I
my
don't
daughter
understand.
had that problem. Okay, because she's mixed, right? She's gorgeous, and everybody says that about their kids, but she's put together.
She's
Okay.
like, but this one's really gorgeous.
She just is. And so um she went to a predominantly white school. She's mixed. Hard for her because she didn't know, but she had a lot of social issues. And so it
Mm.
started on the internet. And I was like, what the is that what you answer to? Are
Yeah.
these things true? She's like, well, no. And I said, then why are you losing sleep over it? Unless this person comes
Yeah.
to you
Yeah.
to tell you this, I need you to be stronger in your
Mhm.
mind.
Well, then
Yeah.
that's what it
Yeah.
is. These people that you know, it affects them so much inside is because they don't have someone like you saying you need to be stronger, or you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's like a confidence thing too. Like if someone is badgering me, well, I'm 49, so I don't know if you want to come at me that way,
Right.
whatever.
I'm just saying.
But if at a younger age, right? Who do they go to? Who's their teacher?
Yeah.
Who's the
Right.
person that they're going
Yeah.
to? Who are they able to they feel comfortable enough to say, "Hey, someone's bothering me." And then someone taking them serious enough to say, like how you're telling
Yeah.
her, "Don't let it bother you. Be
Mm-mm.
strong." Or this is and that. Some people just don't have that person or someone to lead them into not letting these things or these trolls get in their head.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's sad, but I
It's
mean,
very sad because
And the
you're not,
teen
again, these people are probably not who they say they are.
Oh no.
You can be anybody you want
Yeah.
to be.
yeah.
So, I mean, I've used that to scare my kids when they would play video games and they're talking to people that are playing from way. I said,
Mhm.
you're probably talking to some old man drinking a beer, sitting in his boxers, pretending to be a girl.
Oh
And they would be
shit.
like, and I'd be like, yeah. So
Yeah.
be careful about what you're saying,
Yeah.
Mhm.
because you can be anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the teenage age is already, we all know in junior high was probably our worst years.
Yeah.
Already hard to begin with, right? You're on that
For us?
Yes,
yeah, like all of us that
awkward.
are like, and back then it wasn't the internet. We were actually in school. There was
Right.
no half homeschool, no
Right.
half.
No.
What is it called?
Continuation.
No, not continuation school. We had that.
Oh, wow.
Continuation
Yeah,
school.
yeah,
was
Yeah,
the
yeah.
bad kid.
I was part of that.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
bad kid.
Me too.
Not the continuation. What's called when you do it from home, like when
Homeschool.
no, well,
Con-
home
or independent studies.
independent study. So we didn't have none of that. So we
No.
went to school. We saw each other.
I feel like we're
face-
playing a game right now.
He's like,
Sure.
I won.
Yeah, sure.
You get a free cookie.
Give me my hockey puck.
No, I'm gonna get you a jar of mayonnaise.
I need
Right.
one to put in my purse.
This is what the car ride like here is always like.
God.
So there was no independent studies. There's no any of that, right? So you went to school and you had to face each other, right, wrong, or
100%.
indifferent, right? You had
Yeah.
to deal with it, or
Oh, yeah.
however
Like
it
I
was.
It
said.
changes everything.
Everything.
It does, and
Yeah.
at that age in junior high, you don't even know who you. I didn't know who I was in junior
Absolutely
high.
not.
I had no clue who I was.
I
So you're at the ugly
Mhm.
stage, you're trying to
Ugly,
figure it out.
awkward.
wait, what?
And I was a hurt person hurting people. Like I was a hurt person. Like I had so many issues inside of me that I was in junior high. Like that girl's
You
fat.
were
Well,
mean?
that girl. I was like,
Oh,
and I
yeah,
didn't realize it because it was my hurt. Like, so if there was a pretty girl, like she's ugly. There was somebody else, oh, she's fat. Like because I was hurt. I didn't understand
Okay.
that girls
'Cause we
uplift
had already-
girls.
Again,
This
and
is
then
in
who-
junior high.
And then who was the person that you were learning? Like who was the person that would have taught you at home or whatever to say, we don't act like that. We don't treat
At
people
that
like that.
age, honestly, like in junior high, I was with that like I had my two grandmas and my mom was there, but my mom was going through what she was going through. So
Mhm.
she wasn't really in a good place either. So
Mhm.
she was struggling. So, and my mom's answer to everything was, I'm just going to kick her ass. So my
Yes.
answer to everything was, I'm going to kick her ass.
Yes.
Like there was no
Really?
like, and we didn't talk about
Yes.
things
Where were you
back
guys
then.
at when I
Right.
was in school? Because I was so scared. I was such a scaredy cat growing up, and that's why I said I was never in a fight.
I thought you were kidding.
Oh man.
No, but
No,
I
like-
also grew up with my family, right? All my cousins.
Mhm.
So I always felt very protected.
okay.
Right?
Right.
And so even in school, when I went to school in Pedro, none of my family was there because my family was from Wilmington.
Mhm.
So in school, I made sure to find the people that were like all the big guys. Like, so I felt protected. So you know what I mean? So if someone didn't like me, and if I was mean to anyone in any way, or anyone thought that I didn't like them, I'm sorry. I was not. I didn't even look people in the eye. I was so scared. But to piggyback off of being so scared, I was so scared I was pregnant at 15. I don't know what the heck.
You weren't that scared.
Yeah,
I wasn't that scared.
Oh,
So I don't know. I don't know. What's the difference?
So, like, hurt people.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I got pregnant at
exactly.
No one
16.
told me that at 15 you're gonna, I'm not gonna take away from my upbringing because my parents were amazing, but we didn't talk about
No.
that part, right?
No.
And so, but I don't ever feel like I was mean to anyone. And even now to this day, I don't think that I'm mean to anybody. But
I tried not to be.
I have an opinion
Yeah.
that I'm entitled to, but
I really try. Like, you're right, G. I really try my hardest to not. Like, I know for a fact
We tried.
I'm not
We
mean
did,
to anybody.
but
And if at any point we have some kind of disagreement or argument,
uh-huh.
you basically, what's that saying? If we've cut the ties, you handed me the scissors.
yeah.
Like, because I'm the type that you can pick and pick and pick, and I'll take it.
Yeah.
Because I will always give you the benefit of the doubt. I will always hope and pray you change. And then it gets to a point where I realize you haven't, and I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah.
And when I'm
Absolutely.
done, I'm not mad at you.
No.
I don't hate you. We don't need to fight or argue or
No.
scream. Just I would rather
just-
walk away
Yeah.
than what my famous saying is, I don't need to put you down to make myself feel better.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
that's where I'm no longer a hurt person.
Exactly.
and-
Maybe that's why I feel like I've never really had to be mean or negative towards someone, is because I always assume the best of people until they prove me wrong. But I feel like the ones that belong in my life don't ever make me feel like I have a reason to be mean or hurt them or, come off a certain way. I don't know.
I still can't believe you've never been in a fight in your life.
Well, no, I meant growing up. Like, I didn't have like what I considered to be a fight until in my 30s, maybe.
Oh
whoa.
wow.
Yeah, who you fighting in your 30s?
This guy.
Oh,
God. That's that. Fuck it. Let's go all the way.
Okay.
right? She's not even like through us all.
So, you know what's crazy though is because you're saying like hurt people, right? And it wasn't until now in my 40s that I've come to a realization, thanks a shout out to Monica, my therapist, that certain things trigger me,
Mhm.
right? Certain traumas in my life.
Oh yes.
And maybe that's why I just never like even being abused before, right? I didn't fight back. But that's the reason why not until in my 30s did I have an altercation with a male that I think I was triggered.
Oh, yeah.
And at that point I was like, oh yeah, no, nobody's gonna put their hands on me. So that's why.
We were getting
Whereas
Please.
whereas before I didn't need to I didn't need to be in a fight with somebody because there was always somebody to protect me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I
no,
always felt protected.
Yeah.
But now my protection is the main person in my life, right?
Yeah.
So now I'm like, whatever.
Yeah. I was definitely a person that was, I will honestly say, I don't think I got any therapy, and I didn't really see there was a change in me until probably maybe since I was about 35, let's say.
Okay.
It probably clicked in when I had Seth, but it took even a while to get there. Right?
Oh yeah.
But I had a girl call me out when I started the podcast, and she was like,
Called you out?
She called me out on my like we talked, and she
Yeah.
said like, you said you don't talk to married men, blah 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 blah. She's like, well, you talked to my husband. You guys texted like all these years ago, right? And I said, you know what? I did, and I only did it to make you mad because her and I had a beef, and I knew that would piss her off. Nothing ever happened, nothing like that. But even as wrong as it was, and this was back in like
Is she still with him?
90 something, early 2000. No, they're not together anymore. But like, I had to apologize.
Yeah.
I had to own my shit. And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
said, no, you're most definitely right. Because I didn't like you, and I knew what would hurt you.
Right.
I was going to hurt you.
Damn.
See, but there's a
So-
reason. But not many people will do that. Not many people will be accountable for their stuff.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Many
yeah.
people, and like you said, you were able to say it to her. She called you
She
out.
did call me out on
You
it.
know what I mean? Like those are the type of conversations that grown people should have.
Well, and like I told her, I could sit here and lie to
Nobody
you.
wants
But
to.
but God's going to be
no,
like,
I mean
keep
being
lying.
able to talk.
No, but I'm just saying,
And not
majority
ti-
of people will not face up to their shit, man.
But
They
I-
won't. But I mean, as you like, we talk about healing, right?
Yeah.
How do you heal without being accountable to your own shit?
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You are never. So if you keep on freaking making excuses and
that's why
and
there's-
blaming everybody else,
Yep.
you are never gonna heal.
No.
It is never gonna. So
No.
if you come to me and say, Tom, hey man, the way you do this, it ain't right, whatever. And I think about it and I go, fudge, man, you're right.
Yeah.
Like I always do
Yeah.
it that, like I always do
Yeah.
that, and I'm that way, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I know it's the truth.
Hmm.
And if I don't just accept it, then I'm hurting myself. And I already know, like so it'd be better for me just to be like, you know what? Hey, you're right. Accept it, change my ways, and move forward
Hmm.
Yeah.
because it's the truth, right? I could try to deny and be like, no, and lie, against the truth, but
But
who
who
am I
knows it?
hurting?
But who knows
How
the
am I
truth
going to
though?
The
grow?
most important person in the world.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
everybody knows, but you know that, hey, man, I don't like it because this person came at me this way. I'm not going to accept it. Like, hey, motherfucker, like, get over yourself.
Thank
It's
you.
not
Yeah,
your
yeah.
way.
Please.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If it's the truth, it's the truth.
Yeah.
Too
Yes.
bad if you don't like the message,
The way that
Right.
it was.
the way it was delivered. I'm
Right.
sorry, it's
Yeah.
not delivered your way.
Right.
If it's right, it's right.
Yeah.
Period. So
Uh,
you just need to
Yes.
man up or woman up
Suck
to
it up.
absorb it up and say,
Right.
you know what? Damn, they got me.
Right.
Yeah.
They're right.
Be uncomfortable.
You be a little bit, you know what?
Be a little
I'm gonna
uncomfortable.
I'm gonna absorb that and I'm gonna make adjustment to correct it. But nobody wants to do that.
But you
No,
didn't-
because
you didn't
again,
always
Dave,
feel like
nobody
that,
wants
right,
to be
though?
Huh?
like that.
You didn't always feel like that, right?
feel like I'm willing to absorb it and suck it up.
Yeah, you didn't always feel like that.
I don't think.
I
any of
think
us
I've been
Right.
I think I've been more so to be able to do that more. I've been able to take constructive criticism for a long time.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe I don't wouldn't
Not
really
me.
voice it.
Right.
I wouldn't really like put it out there, but I would think about it and be like, damn, man, what they said, like, fuck, they're fucking right?
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe I didn't tell them maybe that, but I would try to make adjustments because of it. But
Yeah.
now I'm at a point like, you know what, man? Hey, you know what? I was wrong.
Yeah.
And I'll accept that and I'll push forward. But
Well, that's another
what's
reason
gonna-
why you don't feed into the drama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if it's our age, experience.
Life
I don't
experience.
know.
I think it
It's
comes
Where
with
you wanna
gotten us
be.
to this place.
it's our faith. It's the
Yes.
healing we've done,
Yes.
and,
And
it's
the
the
people you
wisdom.
start to
Maturity.
surround
It is the
yourself with.
maturity. It's
Yep.
who you surround yourself with.
sure.
Because when I got the phone call that I ran into this girl last night and she was talking all this crap about you, I was like, give me her number, right? Like instant. So
Mhm.
when we're on the phone talking, at first I was not very forthcoming. I was like, she's like, well, you said this and this. And I was like, yeah, well, you did this and this and this when we were 16 and 18. I haven't liked you since then. And da da da. She's like, whoa, I didn't even know that's how you felt. I said, so then I expressed myself and then she expressed herself. Then we got to a point where I said, you know what? I did. And this is why I did it. We're being real. But the first 5 minutes, we were ready to just go through the phone. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Right.
But we got somehow, some way, we got to a point where we're able to actually hear each other and hear each other's hurt and pains. And we
Mhm.
both apologize. And I said 100%, I own up my shit. And she's like, I do too. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But initially,
Mhm.
where you at? Like,
Yeah,
what
that's-
what are we
yeah.
gonna do? Like,
I know what
Anytime.
conversation you're talking
oh, because
about.
you showed
We
up
were-
that day and
Yeah,
surprised
yeah.
me.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
We could take a little ride if you need.
She wasn't going to drive 2 hours away to go meet you. I guarantee you.
I'm just saying.
I was at Seth's
And then I
baseball
would've
game,
got a
like,
phone
2
call.
hours away, yeah.
And I would have been like,
But-
I'm on the way.
But I needed to, because I know God the whole time is like, girl, you can lie to her all day long. But you
Can't lie to
and
me.
not to be mean to her, no disrespect to her, but she's nothing compared to him, right?
Right.
So I knew at this moment, let me own my shit, because I've asked for forgiveness, so I have to.
Well,
And
and
again,
because there's growth.
Yeah.
You have
Yes,
growth.
and then you want the manifestations of that good deed, right? To come back to you somehow. Won't come back the same.
Well,
But the
to our
ego-
kids.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But the ego and the pride that I used to have, that I think we've all had at some point, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
realized that ego doesn't
Yeah.
live here anymore. Pride doesn't live here anymore.
No.
Like, pride does try to sneak up sometimes, and it's a fight. Like, that's one of my biggest fights is like, I will never forget, like, with Seth's dad, like, I'm never gonna let you see me fail. I'm never gonna ask you for anything. I will never go to you. You chose to walk like and I've realized that, yes, that was probably the right thing to do, but the way I went about it wasn't right. That was
Right.
all pride right there. That was
Right.
all ego right there.
Mhm.
So I try really
100%.
hard to, in my friendships, even with people I don't know, like, I don't need to be the alpha every single day. I don't need to lead. With my friends, I try not to be the alpha. I try to let them be. Like, I'm just along for the ride. Let's just have fun. Because when you try to do that, sometimes I've realized when you let pride and your ego in, that's when the hurt comes in too.
Oh yeah,
because you want to always be on top, always be right,
'cause
always
they're all
be the
one and the
best.
same. They're all one and the same.
Mm-hmm.
But again, that's probably why we can recognize when somebody's really bitter
Yes.
and like, poor you, like, what is
Look,
happening?
what are you talking
Yes,
about
and
over
you're
there?
just like, "Good Lord,
Yeah.
please, Lord Jesus." I mean,
Then
I
you don't even
know.
have the hate or the you're not even mad at
No,
them the
because
same
now at
level.
that point, you're like,
You're
"I've
gonna feel
been
sorry
there,
for
right?
them. It's
Done
different.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't go back there anymore." And I don't get me wrong, I was a hateful person as well,
Mm,
and oh god, I was just ugly,
yeah.
right? I thought, "Well, I've been through enough.
Yeah.
Now the world should owe me something."
Mhm.
Right? Why am I still doing this? Why is this still happening? But I finally came to the point where I was like, well, crap, nobody owes me shit. And who am I? So I learned to take my pain and, you know, um, profit off of it.
There you go.
So I profit off of my pain and I can keep going.
Or others profit off of it.
Yes.
Use it for
Do
a
100%.
you
positive
also
growth.
like
Positive.
yeah, the growth, but do you look at your pain, right? Keep it pushing, and then also understand that your kids are watching you,
Oh
whether they're
yeah.
in your home or not, and
100%.
feel like they're gonna not just learn how you deal with your experiences, but how you deal with other people, how you speak of other people, or like obviously, like we said,
Right.
we're always gonna say we're not ever gonna be perfect.
Right.
There are
No.
gonna be times when things, are said or whatever, but that your like our kids, like one of the main reasons why I started going to therapy was when my daughter said they were pregnant, bringing babies into the world. I thought, uh, I'm gonna need to be like, I need to be on top of my stuff. Like I need to be sane.
Yeah.
Like I need to be like, you know what I mean? Like I
Look
used
at Tom was like, what
He's
is
like,
that
I don't know,
vibe?
you crazy?
Put-
So,
put
I mean,
crazy
that was
back
part
in
of the
her
reason
box.
why I was going, not because something was wrong or I
Yeah.
felt like, I needed to vent to somebody else outside of my circle, but now I'm like, I need to be able to be a better person, make better choices,
Oh yeah,
do
because
better because my
they're feeding,
kids
yes, they're because
and
that's
my
all they know,
grandkids.
right?
Yeah.
And so it's funny because our oldest, right, Loran Jr., they got that crazy part of us,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
That unforgiving part of us.
There's
So they
Yes.
got to
there's two
see-
others of you out there.
Yeah.
and our younger ones
Love that.
got the forgiving part of us. Right?
Yes.
So they got to see.
I say that our two older ones survived and the two younger ones
Well, they
were
grew up
raised.
with you.
Yeah,
Yes.
they were raised.
Yes. Yes.
The one
Yeah.
good
So
thing,
you could see the difference
Yeah.
in the parenting.
Well, I'm scared because my youngest one has me, and my two daughters in her. I don't know.
Yeah, like
she's,
it's
she's
out.
all of you guys.
I think
But-
mine's the other way around.
What?
My older two seemed to be better off. My older two, because of the way I was,
Mhm.
and as tough as I was on
Yeah.
them and all these things, right?
Yeah.
And as much as I expected out of them, and they bitch about it now. Like, Dad, you were so hard on us. You were so aggressive, and you would grab a hold of us and just, be forceful. And like, I didn't even know how to take it. Like, my dad's gonna beat my ass.
That's
And I
how
said,
it's the
I said, but look it.
I have a story when you
okay,
So
because
look
that's how
it.
it's supposed
Yeah.
to be. Sorry.
So with that
I was gonna
said,
say some kids needed
with
that,
that
Dad.
said, they're all, dad, like they're so traumatized of it, right? And I'm like, dude, you guys need to get over it, man. To tell you the truth, like I get it, but your world wasn't so terrible. Yeah, your dad was a little bit rough on you.
Mhm.
I go, but the one that he wasn't rough on was the baby. And he's the one that's worse off than all of you. So I should have beat his ass.
You think
Right?
that the
You know?
way that you raised them was traumatizing, like the way that you were aggressive and
They
manly?
think
And
I was.
No, he said
right?
they think.
They think I
Oh.
was.
They
Like,
think
Dad,
that.
you were like, and really, I would grab a hold of him.
Right.
I'll pick them up off the ground, put them into the wall, and say, "Knock your shit off, or I'll
Oh.
fuck you up." I would
I've
tell
done
them
that
straight
too.
up, right?
Well, hold on.
Right?
There's
But wait a minute. So you got you got a kid playing with matches, he's gonna burn the whole house down. Hey, I'm gonna fuck you up, right? And I'm gonna let you know this ain't playing with because you'll kill all of us.
Yeah.
Don't run out in the middle of the street
Okay.
because I'm gonna fuck you up.
Yeah.
Or don't be shooting the BB gun at your brother's face and you're gonna blow his eyeballs out.
I'm not gonna
so
say
there's
honey,
things, right,
stop
that
that.
are like
Yeah.
you gotta get crazy.
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
some of it, what I would do, was an act a little bit.
Was your dad like that to you?
Oh, my dad would fuck me up, man. My dad.
Okay.
No. He's
Right.
he's actually
But
sounds like he was less.
but my dad would, he would fuck me up in a way that, hey, just go get the paddle and hold on to your ankles. If you let go of your ankles, you get hit with another
Yep.
one. It was
Yeah,
controlled.
that was Pat.
It
That was
wasn't
my
like
mom.
hey, I'm gonna grab a hold and slam up on the wall. But I would, because I want him to know the severity.
I would rather have that.
No,
though.
look,
Yeah.
I want
I
him.
would rather-
I want you to know how.
Slammed against the wall.
Look,
than
I want
hit.
you to know how serious it is, and I want to create that to where you're like, oh shit, this is serious.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like I was gonna take your head off.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
I wanted you to think about it and think,
Dad is
oh
supposed
God,
to
if I
instill
Yeah.
that fear.
No, I feel like
but they all, because
kids
now
need
this is
that.
a weak world, right?
Yeah.
Now they
Cry
see
babies.
this weak world and they think, oh my God, my dad was this. I'm like, it's been that way for years.
Mhm.
And you guys are all acting like it's something new. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like my dad, one time one of them, the ones ripped out the fish hook and it swung around and I grabbed a hold and it almost ripped the other one in the face and it caught a hold of my finger and I'm like, hey, oh fuck, right? And then my brother-in-law's, oh shit, I picked one up and put it down on the the side, like, you could have ripped his freaking face off, like, you know what I
That's
mean?
why
so,
I don't
So I
finish.
get a little bit like intense, right?
Yeah.
But my kid's just like, oh my God, Dad, like I can't even.
Tom, don't
Talk to you.
ever
Let me tell you
let
something.
anybody tell you that you did anything
Yeah.
wrong.
Well, yeah,
That's
but you
the
could say
problem
you
with
could
these
say that.
kids.
It doesn't
No,
matter
but
if
I
you
got-
tell me that.
Yeah, yeah.
Doesn't matter if
Yeah.
anybody tells me
Yeah.
how great of a dad you were.
Yeah.
If your kids are out of your life,
Yeah.
at the end
That
of the
sucks.
day, that sucks, right? So it
Yeah.
doesn't matter, hey, because all my compadres, my mom, my other nieces that are in hers, even, hey, you were a great dad, don't worry.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day,
But you know that,
and
right?
you know that, right? I know that I was aggressive.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
No,
but I had
that you are a great dad.
I believe I was a good dad.
Let him
No,
finish.
you
He's
are a
making
great dad.
He's making a good point. Let him finish.
Yeah, they'd never do that, Solomon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
Solomon,
trying to go down the road and I'm trying to
don't
create a
interrupt
picture.
us.
I
Don't interrupt us.
Let,
But
no,
no.
you guys,
So-
what he's
So go ahead.
saying.
What I'm
I
trying
just want
to
him
say,
to know that he is a great
Yeah.
dad.
Yeah, he knows that. He knows that. Let him finish.
No, he doesn't.
I'm just trying to
Yeah.
say, like,
Yeah, that's
you whatever what you're trying to instill in them and everything like that. So, but they think that, and at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter what anybody said because you care about what they think because
Yeah.
you desire this relationship between
Yes.
you and them.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, like they might know it, but until my sons realize it,
yeah.
it don't mean shit.
And they
what everybody
probably
else
won't
realize.
till they have
I mean, I
kids.
know it, and in between God, the
Yeah.
only thing I can rest on is that, right? I
Yeah,
can
right.
only say, you know what, Lord? Hey, I did my best.
Yeah.
right.
I
Yeah.
submit to you. You'll bring them around when it's your time.
Yes.
Maybe
Yeah.
you got them away because you know what? They're spoiled,
They're
They
on
need
their
to
own.
deal with some
They're on
life.
their own
Yes.
path. They're on
and
their
they
own
got to
path.
go through some rough shit.
Don't interrupt
first.
him, Solomon. Don't
right?
interrupt him.
So, with that said, and after they get a chance to go through that, and you know what? Maybe that's the time, maybe when they get kids and so recently I finally I let that go because for the longest time it would eat me up, man.
Oh yeah.
It would eat me up because I didn't have them involved in my life, right? And it's like that's the one thing that like matters the most, right?
Yeah.
Your kids, right? And so on. So like, yeah, it would tear me up, but I just had to say, you know what? You're in full control, God.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
There's nothing that you can't fix,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm bringing it all to you,
Amen.
and I believe you want the best for me. And you know what? I know you do. I know you love me, and so it will happen in your timing.
Yeah.
From
Just
three
let it go.
From three singles moms' point of view, I think we all speak the same. I'm gonna say me more particularly, just I'm speaking for myself. Who you were as a father, who you are as a father, is we appreciate that for the fact that we didn't have that, right?
Right.
Because I was at work and there's a younger manager. He's about 30. I won't say his name. He was telling us a story about his dad, who sounds very much like you.
Mhm.
And he was kind of venting, like, yeah, well, I took off for a few days and I was already in trouble. So I called my mom and said, well, spring break's coming up. Can I just go to Mexico for the next 5 days with my friends? And she said, no, you're already in trouble. Get your ass home. Well, he said to himself, I'm already in trouble.
Fuck.
Gonna go. So he comes home and his mom's like, dude, you're done. So he thought he was just going to walk in the house.
From Mexico.
Yeah.
Came back from Mexico. Oh.
And he walks in the house and his
Mm.
mom's like, good luck. He said, next thing I knew, my dad, and he's a pretty tall kid, probably 6'1", probably about 6 feet, 6'1". He said he was up and through the wall, like through the wall. His dad picked him up and threw him in the wall, like where he went through the drywall. And then his dad said, now you got to fucking fix it because you broke it. And he's like, but you threw me through the wall. So
What
he got,
happened if your
and
ass
the
was a
mom,
fucking
right?
roach?
So I said to him, is your parents still married? Is your dad single? Because that's kind of sexy. Like, because to me, like, so the other day they were talking about how he was going to go out afterwards and meet his parents. And I was like, is your dad going to go? Can we go to dinner and meet him? And they go, why do you love his dad? I said, because his dad don't play games. Because
Exactly.
his
The
dad
problem is the dads have to play games now. So
That's
they
a-
can't
that's
be,
a shame.
look, they can't be a man. I'm going to tell you a freaking story straight up, right? So my little son, freaking, I went and said, hey, man, you need to pick up your mom just freaking, she's sick, and you need to pick up the mess that you made out there in the brand new kitchen that we just, as I'm talking to him, he's like, yeah, slams the door in my face. I said, oh, you
How
little
old is he?
motherfucker. Look, just listen to the story. Don't ask no questions until you hear it
We
all.
got questions.
Look. So he's 19 years old, slams the door in my face. Okay, but the problem is this, right? So my other 25-year-old was talking shit, and he shared the room upstairs with his brother, but now he's got a girlfriend. His brother's got a girlfriend, so that's not cool because now I got to bring my girlfriend over. Hey, homie, you're 23 years old. Your brother's 24. Get your own place. You can have whatever you want, dog. Right? And I said, I'll tell you what. I got another idea. Look, you got 2 bedroom downstairs. Your little brothers. Hey, you're 17. You're 19. Hey, you want to go upstairs and move into the big room and share it together? Oh yeah, sure, Dad. That's cool. Okay, now you got a small bedroom and a big bedroom. The small bedroom is $400 a month. The big bedroom is $500. Which one do we want? What? Oh no, you don't want all to pay all that.
Never
I
mind,
just
was
want a
playing.
room that will have my own privacy, but I'm 20 something, 3 years old. So he said, you should have bought a bigger house, Dad.
Oh.
Right? Start talking shit to me, right? In the living room. So in the living room, he's talking shit to me, and then he's mocking me, what I should have did. I come home, and the reason this kicked off, because I told him not to do it. I come home, he's got his bed dragged downstairs, and he's trying to empty out the one brother's fucking room and just take it over after I told him, no, this is my house. And the one brother just locked the door, said, fuck you, Joe, wait till Dad gets home, right? So now we get into a fight. So it turns out straight blows in the middle of my living room that I snatched up of my son and freaking threw his ass on the ground. Now, this is the problem, though. Now you got a woman that don't back you up.
I was gonna say, where's
So
the mom?
look, you got a woman that don't back you up. So later, when the divorce happens, he's abusive. He's this crazy man. I want a restraining order against. I want all this stuff, right? So because when I left, she didn't want me going. I grabbed the keys. It was to her mom's truck. She grabbed the keys at the same time. She told the police officers. I was forceful with her. I have my son sitting right there. My sons would never let their mom get forcefully handled,
But
right?
hurt
Without-
people, hurt people.
So, but then
hurt
she'll do
people.
whatever it takes to create this to lie. So she told the friggin' police, he came, he was aggressive, he did this and that. So now what it does to me when my sons do that, I can't be that man because now she'll create a case. Look, he beat up my one son. This one disrespected him. He slammed him into the wall. Like, so you can't be that man no more because she is going to make you look like this aggressive, crazy man, and he's going to jail, losing his job and everything. And that's what happened to me. So I couldn't. So I had to, the one that did disrespectful, I already knew what she was planning. So I had to bring him out in front of everybody. Look, we got all witnesses. Hey, did you tell me this? Yeah. You think that's cool? You think that my son should talk to me like? So I basically had to have an audience for it. But people say, I would have just knocked his head off. Yeah, and your ass would have been in jail. And your wife would have the house right now. So you got to be smart to know what's going on and how they're strategizing and what they're doing to plan against you. So everyone would say, hey, I would have just never let that happen. Well, yeah, but you're not in my situation thinking the whole thing through.
How are you not bitter? Like, how are you still the happy-go-lucky Tom who goes on TikTok and dances, who enjoys his life, who is always positive? Like, I don't think I've once ever seen you in a hurtful, pissed off mood. Like, knowing everything you've gone through, how do you still?
He said it earlier. He gave it to God.
Yeah, pretty much that's it. That's where my peace lies.
Yeah.
That's where when you surrender it, it's
Mhm.
off of your back, it's off your shoulders.
Yes.
The weight no
And
longer.
it's freeing
Yes,
Yeah.
you're
when you don't
freed.
have to carry
Say
all
that word again.
Say it again.
You
Surrender.
surrender. Let it go.
Surrender. You
Yeah.
have to
And you're
let
just
it
like
go.
so you're like, you know what, man? And in the Bible talks about to always look to the good, right?
Right.
Focus on what is holy, focus on what's just, focus on what's pure,
Right.
focus on all these things. Don't
Right.
focus on all this crap, because if
Exactly.
you just focus on crap, then that's again, like we talk, you'll attract that. And I'm like, no, you know what? I did still have good times with my sons. I did have a lot of great times with my family before.
Mhm.
So it wasn't all bad. It
No.
just, there was glimpses and pieces that got nasty. And these are what happens. And this is the story. But people sometimes think, oh, I can't understand. Let me break it down for you. And then when
Can I
Hmm.
ask a
now I
question now?
understand. Yeah.
Are we allowed? Are we
Can
allowed
we
to
ask
talk
a question now, Solomon?
Solomon?
Can I
Is
ask
it
a
okay?
question?
Do we have time?
Yes, go on.
So just based off of like the bits and pieces that I get, like, and have gotten to know you on here and car rides.
We like the
um,
car rides.
do you think that had you had a woman who supported every decision you made, whether she thought it was right or wrong, and uplifted you and held you to the standard of like, this is the king of our home, this is the leader of our home, that things would have been differently as far as your sons and
100%. Because my sons, the reason they acted on that is because they started to disrespect me.
okay.
And had my ex went in there,
Hmm.
and when I was gone, out of sight, I don't need to be around,
No.
would say, you know what? Your dad goes and works 7 days a week. It's for your asses.
Yeah.
Your dad went and did this. He
Mhm.
provided, you guys got a car.
Yeah, I don't want to hear you
got,
talking
got
to
a
him like
friggin',
that.
you're playing this
Do what he
friggin' game.
says.
Your dad friggin', you don't talk to him like that.
Yeah.
That's my husband. Because
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, if my kids disrespected my
Yeah,
ex in
yeah.
front of me, it
Oh,
was
yeah.
on.
Yeah.
They could
Get
even
it. You're gonna
disrespect
get
me and
it.
I wouldn't get crazy.
Right.
I said, what'd you just say to your mom?
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
would check them. But that wasn't being reciprocated on my side when I was gone. She should have had the conversations with them to say, you know what? You guys are out of line.
Yeah.
You owe your dad an apology. You need to go back to him. But that never happened.
Okay.
So she, little by little, they become friggin' entitled, all these things.
Yeah.
So did she. I was a good man and gave, and she has all this stuff, right? And then thinking, but never acknowledges. And same thing with the kids, right?
Yeah.
And so little by little, if she's doing it, then I'll do it, right?
Oh,
I had a
yeah.
brother-in-law that, his friggin', his wife would disrespect him. So the kids started disrespecting
Oh,
him.
yeah.
Then the mother-in-law started
Yeah.
disrespecting him. Well, because everybody sees it and you're tolerating it, so why can't we do it? And so that's basically what happened. Is like, how do you navigate through that as a man? I don't want to grab a hold of my kid and slam him up into the wall to
Yeah.
rein back control.
But sometimes you
But-
have to, especially when you have 4 boys.
They don't have any.
Yeah.
This
I
world
get it,
doesn't
but
offer
still,
them
the
discipline.
thing is, I don't care what you say, and you ain't bent. But when you snatch your kid up, your own fucking flesh and blood,
I've done that.
Thank God my kids didn't know they could call
No,
the
I've
cops
done
because I
that.
would have been
and
in jail a few
fucking,
times.
choke his ass out and smash him out. Is that really what I want to do to my own fucking son?
No,
No, it's
Absolutely
not what you
So I'm
want to
crushed
do, but
inside.
I
I don't want to fucking do that.
Yeah, yeah.
That's not who I give. And trust me, yeah, you girls might have did it, but I can cause way more damage.
Yeah.
than
Oh,
any-
yeah.
It's
But
different.
I don't
So,
regret
you
it.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
When I freaking grab a hold of something, it's like, man, this is ugly, man. This is really ugly, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's like, I don't want to be there.
Yeah.
I don't even want to go there.
At the end of the day, that's not what you wanted to do.
At the end, like I knew I needed to do it,
Mhm.
but it just crushed me inside after. I
If
was just
you
like,
guys
fuck, man, how
would-
did it get to this point?
But if you guys would have stayed together and were able to work through whatever issues that you have, because she's not here to defend herself. If you guys were able to work through whatever, you wouldn't feel the way you felt because your boys would react it differently at this point. They would be laughing about it, like my friend I just told you a
Sure.
story about, because his parents are still together. The dad always supports the mom, right? So he was like, "Oh yeah, you mess with mom, look what happens. Like
Yeah.
mom told me no, and I still did it. Dad, I paid the consequences, right?"
Right.
So your boys would look at you differently if you guys were still
If
together.
you had somebody else supporting that, right?
Yeah.
Because confirming that what he did was right. But
Yeah.
if you have somebody against you, because, they want to look good on the other side and like, and be see, they don't even like you. They don't want to talk to you because
But
you're
that's a hurt
did that,
person
But
that, that.
that's
talking.
a hurt
That's a
person
hurt
going through a
person. Yeah.
and like I always say, do I love my kids more than I can't stand my baby daddy? Which is it gonna be? Okay. So some women, that's not the case.
Their
They
hurt
want so
takes
much
over.
revenge and the
Oh,
pain takes
oh,
over.
Yes.
a hundred
So
percent.
yeah,
I'm gonna make your
That's
life
all
all
it is.
miserable.
sensibility
Yeah.
goes out the window. I
Yeah.
refuse
Even
to
if
let
it's
that
going to
happen.
destroy them, they don't even see it
They don't
because,
even see
No.
it.
especially if you
You're
say
right.
anything, you're like, hey, why are you going to do this? It's just going to mess you up. Well, because
Yeah.
you're saying it, they're thinking, what is in it for him? Like, he's
Yes.
just trying because he wants it. I'm like,
Exactly.
no,
That's
like,
so
But
bad.
what parents forget is at the end of the day, the child, no matter my hurt growing up, whatever I went through, it's not my child's fault, right?
No, I've
So
apologized
my
to my
hurt
kids.
is my hurt. So when my son was all about his dad at one point, right?
Right.
I was right behind saying, "Yay, your dad," even if in my head or I'm calling Gina like this mother sucker. But all my kids saw was like, yay, dad," because if I would have said F your dad, at the end of the day, I'm only hurting my child.
Yes.
And my love for my
Yes.
child is more than my
And
love for
listen,
myself.
our kids grow up to be people just like us. And then
Yes.
they can decide for themselves
at, the,
and they'll know
at
the
this
truth.
point, yes, that's where I'm at. Like, I don't want to discuss anything to do with my relationship with my kids. I don't want to badmouth in any kind of way. I just want to live by example, live who I am, be who I am to try to inspire them in any kind of way and just absorb it and take whatever.
Mhm.
And you know what? It will land in its own way. God will open up
Oh
doors.
yeah. I
He
mean,
will
I've had
clean things.
instances where
But
my oldest didn't speak to me for like a year and a half, was it?
Yeah.
Like a year
was
and a half.
about to, yeah.
And I didn't get to see my grandbabies.
that's rough.
But now he's in my life again. And so that time out, I just took it the way you took it, and there was nothing I could do. I just made sure that he understood my door is always open.
Yep.
No matter what you feel, what you say, how mad I am, my door will always be open for you. And I left it
Yeah.
that way.
That's how I've left it.
Yes.
I've done the
Because
same
you
thing
have
with
to
him.
you have to pray for them because like I said, their struggle's different than ours was.
Mhm.
I just refuse to give trophies to my kids that haven't earned it.
Mhm. Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why I hate those for sports when they,
Oh, yeah.
"Oh,
Oh
here's your
God.
participation trophy."
Yeah.
Huh? No, no, no. You
You didn't
sucked. You're not getting one. Okay? We're not even gonna go embarrass ourselves and go to that. Okay? You're not getting it. Sorry, you suck.
You
suck.
suck.
You suck.
Okay? Now
Hurt
you gotta
people,
try
hurt people.
something else. Yeah, you gotta try something else that you're better at.
I'm not paying for that again.
He's
Yeah,
like, we're not doing
no.
that again. You're not embarrassing me.
No.
Absolutely not. I think it just comes down to like, it took me, the one thing I always wanted to know is for myself was if I ever got into an argument with a friend and didn't talk to a friend, my kids didn't know. Any guy
Right.
that I broke up with or he broke up with me or it just ended, whatever you want to call it, my kids never knew why. So anybody that I've ever dated, my kids will see them and still say hi to them. Like I didn't have to put my hurt and my anguish onto my kids.
Right.
And I definitely didn't do that with their dad. I know the hardest part for me, like I tell people, I'm not jealous over men. I'm probably territorial, but I'm not jealous because I know jealousy. Jealousy was when my 5-year-old spoke about dad and so and so, dad and so and so. And I was in my head, I'm like, yeah, well, you, dad, and so can. And I was like, oh, did you have like hearing my 5-year-old son talk about another woman constantly? I was like, it
You
was
just
the
want to
hard-
rip heads off.
Oh,
No, I know.
it was, but I was still hurt at that point, right?
Right.
But I knew my hurt couldn't hurt him.
Right.
So I would go to bed crying like my son loves another one. Like it was pure jealousy.
Oh, yes.
But then this little mature little ass one day said, because he was leaving, and I was like, have fun, be careful. Who's your mommy? Who's your only mommy? And he goes, you're my mom. I love her, but you're my mom. And I was like, wait, we're good? He's like, yeah, what's wrong with you? I was like, bye, go have fun. But I know I could have easily manipulated him through
Oh,
my
yeah.
hurt. And not hurt that we're not together, the hurt that I have to share my son
Right.
with somebody else, right?
Right.
And so I knew in that moment, like, we're going to be good. And I look back and I think I didn't have to create a monster because you did it all by yourself.
Thank you.
We just had to sit back and watch you do it, right?
Yes.
But a lot of women don't realize their hurt, their pain. But like I've said earlier, my love for my child is always more love than I have for myself. But at some
Absolutely.
point, obviously, went to therapy and I got hurt because I didn't like
I did as
I didn't
well.
like being hurt and I didn't like hurting people. That's just supposed who I wasn't.
Yeah.
But because I had so much hurt as a kid, it just kept coming and coming until I realized enough is enough. I can't do this.
Right. And as a side note, just in case, okay, these are your biological children. Okay. So a little different when we have stepmom, stepdad, right? So there's a little bit of a,
Oh yeah, she would have touched my son, I would have went to jail. I made that clear day one. You're a stepmom. You
okay.
can never put your
So
hands on
I
my
just want to
child.
put that out there. So in case anybody's like, well, they agree with this and that. No, no, no. These are Tom's biological children.
That he was
He
whooping
has the
that ass.
right to do what he thinks is best.
Yeah.
When you have blended families, it becomes very different, right? So just putting that out
Well, I
there.
love my daughter's bonus mom.
Oh,
See?
you said that.
We love Allie.
See?
But is Ellie a healed
Probably a healed adult.
Yes.
Whatever the case is, she loves my daughter just as much as I love my daughter.
That's all that matters.
There you go.
Just as much.
Nice.
Maybe.
Enough for you. Enough for you to
You know what? I wasn't in a place where however she loved on my daughter, I was gonna be like, that's not enough, that's not a lot, that's
Yeah.
not good enough. The way that my daughter spoke highly of her
That's awesome.
was good enough.
Right.
That's awesome.
And that was what was important. And I was happy for my ex that
Yeah.
he has a good woman.
Yeah.
We love her more than him, probably.
I got to that point, but it took a while because my son was so young.
Yeah.
Because Seth was 5, it was like it was a struggle. Like, and I openly, honestly, but by the time Seth was 6, I was like, boy, go have fun. Go with your stepmom and
Oh, well,
your
good
dad.
for
Like,
you guys.
yeah.
I can't say that.
Like, I was like, go have fun. He'd come back and be like, we did this and we did that. And I was okay with it because I had to be secure with who I was as a mom.
Mhm.
And again, it was because I was still a hurt person, right? So I had to do some healing. And that's why I say I feel like eventually about that age is when I start to realize like I needed to work on myself.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I think it's safe to say that, like, even the whole hurt people, like, even within our friendships, like, or how you learn to decipher, like, what's a priority or who to be around or what's fake, what's real, whatever. Obviously, it doesn't even matter. Like, that's what social media glorifies those types of things. But I think that's why even at this age, it's like you kind of like just stay away from people like that.
Oh, you
Oh, yeah.
have to.
You have to.
But I
You
didn't
have to.
know to do that before because, like I said, I only see the good in people until they prove me wrong.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, wow, I'm just now learning that at 49.
But I don't think there's an age limit
Yeah.
on our healing.
No.
I heal.
No, I'm healing every day. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like,
100%. But you have to be willing to open that door. And opening that door meaning that you have to look in the mirror.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, when I did it, it was horrible.
When you looked in the mirror, you were
Yes.
like,
I am not the person I thought I was. So you have to be willing
yeah.
to be healed. If you're not willing, you're going to stay in torment. And
Yeah.
you're going to be a hater.
Well, and
mhm.
that's a lot of things. That's a lot of stuff that you do see on social media. You see it, and people are like, "Oh, she's ugly. Oh, she's fat. Oh, she's this, or oh, she's that." And it's like, first of all those things may be true, but imagine if you're that person and what you're feeling like and what you're going through, and people are just hating on you and reminding you. And some people, because we were talking in the beginning, some people can't put down the phone. They
Mm-mm.
get so engrossed in it, and it makes it worse.
Right?
They themselves feed off the negativity, even though it's negativity, because bad attention is better than is. Wait, what is the saying?
Better
Better than
than
no
no
attention.
Better than no attention. So some people, if that's all they're getting, then that's all. Because like on my TikTok, I got something that I never really had anything negative, and somebody said, I actually thought it was funny. Somebody said, "Oh, anybody could just have a podcast
Oh,
these
yeah, I saw
days."
that.
And I said, "I'm anybody."
Yeah, I saw
And
it.
then the same person, the same username,
What?
right? On another one said, "Oh, just nonsense and rambling on." I said, "You know, the good thing about that is you could keep strolling. You don't even got to stop and
You
hear." It's
don't
like,
have to.
like I
How
was
do
like,
you even know it's nonsense and rambling if you're not even looking? Like, why are you even looking? Why
like,
are you
and the thing
listening?
is,
You're
you
watching.
can call me ugly, you can call me fat, you can call me all these things that you want to, but I don't answer to any of it. So it doesn't even affect
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I'm just going to
no.
smile right back because believe me, I've been through the worst pain I feel that a child can feel with their parents, with
Yes.
their step parents. You know what I mean? Through
Yes.
everything we've gone through.
Yes.
Like, if I could survive all that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
can-
good.
Yeah, but
I'm good.
how many of I mean, thank God we're in that position, but the people like you said that aren't, and they just get tear down and smashed
Well,
on
I
that.
don't think this.
Like, and how great do you feel? Like, I don't know. For me, I like to feel that I'm making a difference and uplifting other people in their life, like, and doing something positive and doing something, you know, productive. Like,
But we're not going to be able to be that person for everybody. So I feel like that's why
No.
you focus on the ones that are in embracing you,
Right.
embracing
You just
Tom,
The
be you,
priority.
period,
right?
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, not for anybody. Like, I don't even do it for my kids.
yeah. I'm not
Everything
everybody's
I
cup
do
of
right now,
tea.
I get it that I'm setting an example for them, but I'm not doing it for them. I'm doing
Right.
it because my relationship with God and who I want to be happy
Yes.
and where I want to be and the
Yes.
man I want to become,
Yes.
I do it because of that. Now, if
Right.
that stems out and rolls over and people see it, then great.
Right.
But you had a disciplinary dad, right? I had a disciplinary mom. I know you did. Trina, I'm not sure about you, but
I didn't get spanked.
we
Oh, we
you've
got.
never been in a fight and you've never been spanked. Wait, you've
Well,
never been
I
in
say
a fight.
he probably should have spanked me, but I was doing other things.
Getting pregnant at 15. So so I feel like the things that we went through as kids, I would still like, as bad as it was, I would take it again
Yep.
because it's made me so strong.
Oh,
today.
yeah.
Sure.
Like
Oh,
you
yeah.
calling me ugly on
Yeah,
freaking social
yeah.
media, I'm like,
I would do it all. I would do
like,
my
yeah,
own.
Yeah.
that's what I'm so. And some of these kids, like your kids, whether they believe it or not, like, yes, to them it was traumatic because they were kids, right? But they're gonna look back one day and be like, "Pff, I survived Tom. What are you bringing to me?
Yeah,
Because that's what
yeah.
I say. I survived Pat and Jack. I'm good. Like what
Well,
you got?
this
Like
world just lacks discipline.
so today these kids are so soft
Mhm.
that the littlest little
Ugh.
thing,
Yeah, the
God.
babiest thing
yes,
Yeah.
hurts them, and they don't understand how come it hurts so
you
hard.
didn't create
right?
a safe space for me.
If you don't get up off
Okay,
your
there's food here, right?
Okay, as we end this, I'm only
Yeah,
gonna
let's-
say this.
All right.
Emery got an attitude a few weeks ago and she was sitting next to Gia and I came unglued. Like unglued. And Emery was looking at me like, what? And I was like, I'm gonna come at you. And Gia literally lifted up her butt and scooted. Like, make sure when you swing, because she knew it was coming,
Right,
I'm not getting
close enough
hit.
to
Like
get
Gia
hit.
knew it was coming. And Emery and I walked in the room and Gia was like, oh God, here it comes. And I said, ooh. Ooh, like I wanted to spank her so bad, and she realized in that moment that I stopped myself because her little mouth, she's 11, right?
Ah.
But these kids need it.
Yes.
Like
I
I don't care what anybody
yeah.
says.
And Gia's never been really spanked, but Gia's had so much hair and it's so thick and was always in a ponytail. I would just yank her hair. I mean, her
Oh,
head
yeah,
was
that's
always
how it
like
was
this.
for
Like
me.
it looked like she had Tourette's. Like
Yeah.
So now Gia's like she knows if I'm walking towards her and she got lippy,
flinching.
oh, she's flinching. But these kids need it.
I'm sorry
Like,
they do.
we were.
Wow.
I will say this. We can all say maybe in the 70s our parents were a little overboard because the 70 parents were crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I also look back and have to say half of it, I earned that shit. Like I did
Right.
have a lippy mouth. My mom did always say, like, if we don't teach her to fight, she's gonna get beat up because her mouth don't shut the hell up.
Okay.
And now I'm like, thank God you taught me how to fight. Cause man, I would have
There's a reason why we didn't hang out in school.
Ah.
That probably would have got me in fight.
We were
Probably
a
would've got me in a
hot
fight.
mess. I'm sorry. We were just a hot mess.
but we're all healed and getting better.
That's right.
We're not
Healing
there
every day.
yet.
Right.
Lord, forgive
Every
us.
day.
We're always going to continue to keep learning. We
yes,
don't know everything.
we are. Yes. The one thing I do want to say is a lot of people have asked when we asked them to, were you with me today? Somebody was with me today. When I said, did you subscribe? And they said, oh,
yeah.
how much is it? Like $1? We said, it's free. Like, just subscribe
Yeah.
on YouTube. Like,
Yeah.
we're getting there. We're getting better. Like, it does not cost to subscribe on YouTube. So if you're watching this and you're not subscribed,
There's a subscribe button.
Yeah, hit
Yeah,
subscribe.
hit it.
TikTok, Instagram, no socials. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Please comment. I love all the comments. I think that's everything. Thank you for listening. It was a long one this week. And until next time, bye.
Bye.